Hi there, this is Carrie from Stamp with CT. Hold on just a minute while I adjust the camera just a tiny bit. Sorry about that. Well, happy Wednesday. As you know, if you are watching this part of the video, you are catching the replay. So welcome, replay crew. Glad to have you here. It is Wednesday. And I am Carrie from Stamp with CT. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Texas. And today, it is rainy and cool here in Texas. We're in my part of Texas, just a little south of Dallas. And we have a busy day. Oliver is here in the craft room with me, as he usually is. And we are working on getting catalogs out to customers. We're working on prepping some prizes for bingo this Saturday. We're having a sneak peek of the new catalog in our bingo event online. And we just have a lot going on. A little bit of laundry, a little bit of house cleaning too. But more than that, we love to craft. So we are taking a few minutes to spend a little time with you. And super glad to have some friends joining us. I hope that you will say hello as you pop in. Let me know how you're doing. What's the weather like where you are? I know I have friends that pop in from all over, and I love seeing that you've been here. Now, while I'm actually crafting, I cannot see comments, but I will go back and take a look at who is here and who left a comment. I love it too when you give me a thumbs up or heart. That always helps the algorithm, lets Facebook know that other people need to see the video. So thank you so much for helping me in that way. And as lots of you know, it enters you for a chance to win our weekly door prize. So let's get started right away with our crafting. We've got a lot going on in the Stampin' Up! World. And so because of that, this month it seems like I've kind of taken a little step back and am doing more simple and straightforward cards. Sometimes that's just good. We did a couple months of lots of fun folds, fancy folds, and that was really fun. But I've just been in a mood for simple, straightforward stamping. And today I have a couple fun projects. I'm making again a set of cards for a friend that needs some thank you cards. And I always love using up scraps. And a lot of times with designer series paper, I end up with strips, whether it's the 6-inch or 12-inch papers. I end up with strips that are about 1.5 inches to 2 inches wide. And so this one ended up being about 1 3/4 inches. So I thought we're just going to take that piece of designer series paper and make that kind of our focal image and just show that paper off. And again, I'm using a simple layout, but I think it's really fun, and the paper makes it, kind of mixes and matches a little bit. So we're using the Regency Park Designer Series paper. Thank you, Sentiment. You know I love my Iridescent Rhinestones, and I'm just using Night of Navy card bases on all 4 of the cards for this little set. We're going to make a couple together. Let's take a look at the Regency Park Designer Series paper. It is retiring, and it is one that I think we used in bingo. I'm pretty sure that we did. And it's just been a fun paper to create with. I love the floral images, but the B side with those pretty patterns and designs, lots of fun. A little bit whimsical there. Really bright, fun colors. After crafting for the holidays and in the fall and winter, it's nice to have some bright colors to work with. So I really did have a lot of fun with this paper. And I thought we're going to give it one last hurrah, because next week when I see you, I'm pretty sure I'll have to look at the dates again, but I think we'll be into the new catalog at that point. I'm also using this stamp set that's part of the Regency Park suite of products. Love the sentiments. I love the font, and it's one that you can kind of build a sentiment kind of mix and match, but then you've also got a couple that are really pretty fonts, and that's we're going to use the thanks today. Just sweet and simple. All right, let me move those out of the way, and we'll bring in some supplies. So, like I said, we're making a set of cards, so I want 4 thank you cards to give to this friend. All of the card bases are Night of Navy, like that Southern Night of Navy. And they are 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. So let's burnish that score line. I always like to do that. Make sure that those cards lay down nicely. Okay. And because we're making 2 of the same, we're just going to do our multiples here and work on both at the same time. I've actually got 4 pieces of basic white cardstock that's 5 1/4 by 4 inches. So we need 2 of those for our inside panels for each of these cards. Y'all know when you take a class with me, do an event with me, whether it's in person or online, I always include the panel for the inside just to kind of finish off the card. I just really like that look. You know, sometimes when it's a lighter color cardstock, we could get away with writing directly on the cardstock, but I just always tend to put that inside panel 99% of the time. Now, because we're using scraps of designer series paper, if you create cards like these, and I hope that you will because it's a fun little layout, you could also include strips of designer series paper scraps on the inside. That's always a really good use for those little skinny long strips of paper that we end up with. Let's move those back and let those dry for a minute. We'll do some stamping. And if you do create cards anytime with something that I've shown you, I hope that you will send me a picture. I do get a lot of pictures, a lot of messages with pictures of what people have created. Sometimes people will pop them in the comments of the video. That is perfectly fine. I also have a group called CT's Craft and Connect, kind of our community Facebook group. You're welcome to post there. I love it when you share. You inspire me and others when you do that. So we're just using some Night of Navy ink and popping that thanks sentiment. Just stuck my finger in the ink. Wipe that off on my chamois. In this photopolymer stamp, I'm using my piercing mat to give a little cushion so that I get a good impression when I stamp. Looks good. We'll pop that over on the chamois to clean. Close up that ink pad so I don't have an accident. Okay, so I think what I'll do is go ahead and adhere these panels on. So you can see that this is a super quick little card. But wait until you see them all lined up. I just love how they look as a set. And if you don't have Regency Park Designer Series paper, you probably already know this, but any designer series paper would work. And I just got a little bit too much glue on that edge. I will let that dry and work on that later. But any designer series paper that you have those thicker, a little bit chunkier scraps left, this would be a great layout to use those up. And I've had several people ordering cards from me lately, which has been kind of fun. That's not something that I typically do, is create custom cards. I like to teach other people how to find their creativity, but I also like to provide handmade cards to go out to other people. So that's been kind of fun. And making sets is always a great use of our supplies too, to use things up. Okay, I'm going to bring in this piece of grid paper. Now, my friend Judy Pierce, she actually laminated this little piece of grid paper for me. And I need to do something else first. I need to bring these pieces in. So because my designer series paper is 4 inches, and I've got a couple other patterns here, I just went with 4 different patterns. Because it is 2 inches by 4 inches, I went ahead and did about 4 1/8. No, this is 4 inches by 1 3/4. That's what I had, 1 3/4 DSP. So 2 inches by about 4 1/8, so that it goes all the way across and comes to the Night of Navy on the sides. I just like the way that that looks. So let's go ahead and adhere these little strips of the designer series paper. I was kind of getting ahead of myself just a tiny bit. I know that surprises y'all, right? I just get too excited. Now remember that with our last chance list, our retiring products, there's still some really good deals at up to 60% off. You can head over to my online store at stampwithct.stampinup.net, and it will bring you to a landing page when you hit shop that talks about the last chance list, or you can just type in last chance and it will take you there. But usually it pops you over to that landing page where you can see what we have that's retiring. And of course, those are while supplies last, and it's just a short time before those products will be gone. Okay, so now I'm going to line this up on my little grid paper. Let me use this one that's a little bit more dry. I'll just put a little glue, and we'll line this up. I like using the grid paper because I'm not always great at getting things straight if I just eyeball it. We have had lots of sirens today. And you know, like this bad weather, it's not really been storming, just more a little bit of rain, but just hope everybody's okay. Oliver does not like the sirens, y'all. Okay, so we've got those other 2 cards made. Now we'll bring in our embellishment, which I've got those iridescent rhinestones that y'all know I love them. They're just my fave. And let me pop this one over here. It's a little bit larger. And I'm just sprinkling on. Whoops, that one got away from me. Ooh, did it again. I like using the take your pick, and can usually get them to work. But just putting some rhinestones on. Add a little bit of sparkle. And that completes our set of cards, y'all. Aren't those cute? I really like them. And again, you can just pull the card base color from the designer series paper. This one just happened to use the Night of Navy around the images, you know, kind of the line images of the florals in each of these patterns. So that made it super easy to use that card base and then that little strip and just using up some scraps. I always love using up scraps. So that's our set of cards for today. Let me know what y'all think. And I really do hope if you create some cards like this, you will share pictures with me. Okay. there's that other rhinestone right there on my thumb. Okay, so let's take a look at a piece of happy mail that I received from my sweet friend Lisa Tweedle. Is this not just adorable? You can't help but smile when you take a look at this card. It's so bright and so fun. And I want to say this was called Rainbows of Happiness. It was a designer series paper, part of Celebration. I don't know, maybe a year and a half back. It's adorable, and this is just a fun, sweet little card, perfect for this time of year and just bright and happy. So thank you, Lisa. I loved getting this card and your sweet message inside. And then we do have a winner from our giveaway from last week, and it is Ellen Williams. So Ellen, we will pop these little embellishments in the mail to you. I do need you to send me a message and send me your address, please. So congratulations. Now, Ellen left a post, left a comment on the video last week. And what I do is a random drawing each week right before I go live. And it just is a chance for you to be entered for a chance to win a prize when you leave a comment, when you share the video. If you have a friend or relative that may enjoy watching the video and you share it with them, or share it in a group that you're allowed to do that, just share it on your Facebook page, then that enters you for a chance to win as well. So liking, reacting, or sharing, all of those things enter you for a chance to win. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can do that very same thing. Just drop me a comment that says you shared. I love getting comments though. I love getting your feedback, and I really appreciate y'all doing that. So we have some open weave ribbon that I've really enjoyed using this past year, and I did have an extra bolt of soft, succulent, and fresh freesia ribbon. And so that is our prize for this week. So be sure to leave those comments, send up those hearts, and share the video, and that will enter you for a chance to win. And I'll announce the winner next week. Let's look at just a couple of announcements. We've already talked about this. Our last chance list, retiring items from the January to April mini catalog, and then our annual catalog from last year. Lots of good things going away, but I'll tell you, there's lots of wonderful products coming that I'm so excited about. One of the things I really love is that we have a color refresh. So we have, oh gosh, what is it? I think it's 4 new colors coming. And then, what is it, 11? I don't know. I'm going to get this wrong. We definitely have 5 new in colors that are fabulous. We have 4 colors that are new. And then we've got some colors that are coming back, like Lemon Lime Twist, which I've always loved. Berry Burst. I'm trying to think of what some of the other ones are. Oh, you guys pop them in the comments if you can remember. My brain is just not working well this morning. But anyway, we've got some gorgeous colors coming. Kind of a mix-up now of our color collections and our color families. They're changing a little bit. So it's going to be fun. It's going to inspire our creativity. And I'm very, very excited about that. So you'll see some things coming up like paper share, ribbon share from this gorgeous new catalog. We also plan to do a cardstock share. So you'll be able to get your hands on all of the colors if you want all of the new and returning colors, including the in colors, or if you just want to get the new colors, the in colors plus the 4 new colors. We'll have an option for that too. So watch. We'll be posting about that soon, and I'll also email that out. So if you're not on my email list, let me know and I will be glad to add you. This is the gorgeous catalog that's coming. I can't show you the inside just yet, but I will tell you there's some beautiful new products. Very excited about a lot of the papers, and again, just the colors. They just make me really happy. Okay, y'all, I think that's all that we have for you today. As you know, Oliver gets a TREAT when we get done. So he's been really good this morning. So I'm going to go do that and wish you guys happy stamping. Bye.